Hey guys, story time part two of when I did try to go across the border to get a better life, and unfortunately, it did not work. But I think it did not work for a reason. So remember, I told you I met this lady at the detention, and this lady helped me to get out to be on my way back to Jamaica. But when we were actually at the airport, she said to me, "So you did not see that lady that was sitting on your bed?" I said, "No, I have no idea which lady we're talking about. It was just she and I alone that was, in there." And she said, "You sure you don't want to come back with me?" And I said, "No." I said, "I have nothing to come back to. I sold everything and there's nothing for me to come back to." So I stayed and still tried to find another way to, to try another way to come back, to go back over the border. But like I was saying, I rent a hotel room, and I contacted the guy and I said, I need back that money because I need to go back to Jamaica. Remember, I heard a voice in the hotel says, "Go back to Jamaica." And I'm like, "Go back to what? I have nothing to go back to." And the voice said, "Go back." So when I called this guy and I told his wife to tell him. Remember, the wife speak English, he speaks Spanish, so he doesn't understand English. So I was translating through his wife to him. And I was telling her, like, "Please, I need back that money. Please, I need to go back. I need back that money." I was like, "I'm hungry." I was coming up with all kind of excuse just for him to give me back that money, right? And then I know he said, "Oh, I'm gonna send my brother to come and give you something to eat." But when the guy came, he came with a cup open with Pepsi and some chicken. Anyway, I dumped it, of course, and I waited for an hour to call back the guy. And it's like when I called back his wife and him was on the phone, his wife was translating. He's like, he was shocked, he was surprised that I was still on the phone. He was not expecting me to be on the phone, right? And then it's like an hour or 2 hour pass. I got a call. I got a call in my room from the lobby that someone is downstairs to see me. I gave that guy like $3,000. It was US dollars and some was in peso. When I saw the guy and he handed the money to me, people, that man gave me the money the same sequence, the same way I gave it to him. Remember now, I heard this voice that said to me to go back to Jamaica. And I'm like, "Go back to what? I don't have any money. I sold everything. What am I supposed to go back to?" So the fact that this guy came and gave me that money in the same sequence, I cried, I cried, I cried. I went to my room and I just knelt down and I just started crying because I couldn't believe it. Like, I just started crying. I remember when I got the money, I went into the officer's, the manager's office, and I just held her and I started crying because I can't believe I actually got back the money. So anyway, that same night I went to the airport and I was trying to see if I can book a flight, but the airport, that part of the airport was closed. So they said I'd have to come back in the morning. So when I got back there in the morning, now I'm going to go back to the custom form. So, back then they give you like a custom form to fill out, right? So when I went to the airport, I told the ticket attendant, I said to her, "I have to go back to Jamaica." And she was like, "Where's your custom form?" Right then, I didn't know where the custom form is because remember the plan wasn't to go back to Jamaica. So I misplaced the custom form. And she was like, "You cannot fly without a custom form, that return custom form." And I look her dead in the eyes and I said to her, please, I'm begging you, please. I need to go back to Jamaica, please. And she said, ma'am, I can't help you. You should have that form. And I said, I don't have it. And then I just stand up and then I sat down. And then the next thing I know, she called me over. You know, she waved me over. I thought she was going to call the police because remember, I know I was supposed to leave their country, right? I shouldn't be there. So 6 months after now, I'm trying to leave their country. So I thought she was gonna, call me over or, call the authorities. But she called me and she gave me a custom form with it was like a long Spanish name that I can't pronounce. And she said to me, I'm gonna help you to get back to Jamaica. But she said to me, let me tell you something. They will check this, they will check this form. They're not gonna read through it, but just show it to them, keep your head straight, and go on the plane. By then, I went with one pants. I had on a pants because I had shipped all my stuff back over. I had shipped all my stuff to the United States because the way I wanted to go, they wanted to go back over. You can't have any bags, you can't have anything. So I had on just this jeans with some cuts on it, cut up jeans, and two blouse, one over the other. So that's all I had. No bags, no. And that's why they found it very strange. How is it that she traveling with no bags? It's just just a little pocketbook. That's it. And then I came back to Jamaica, and when I came back, she said, first she said just go through, show them, go on the plane, go on your flight, go back to Jamaica. And literally, when I came out of the hotel, I literally knelt down and I kissed the floor. I never was so happy to go back to my country until that day. And when I came back, I had so many friends before I left. When I came back, they all, and I'm not scared to say it, because look where I'm at today. They all closed the door on me. Not one person opened the door to me. Not one person. And it hurts me because I can't believe that I had so many friends and I had so many people that I tried to help, and they literally closed their doors on me, each and every one of them. But in Jamaica, let me tell you something, I always have a little stash. I always have a little stash somewhere. So I did have some money in the bank. And plus, remember that guy gave me back that $3,000 with the US and pesos. And what I did is I called my landlord and I said to my landlord, do you have anywhere else renting? And he said, you want back the same place that you rented? I said, but somebody moved in. He said, that doesn't, no, you were paying your rent. You were clean. You were doing everything you need to do. You can get back your place. Now, people tell me, who is it that leave 6 months and come back and get the same place that they lived in before, before they come back? And I remember every day I was going downtown, I was buying a bed, I was buying chest of drawer, I was buying, but my I didn't look good. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look good. But the thing is, I heard people talking like, oh, look how she looks, she don't even look good. But my focus was to get back to get on my feet. That was my focus. I don't care what nobody wanna say. I knew what I was doing. And the fact that all my friends that I thought I had closed their door on me. But I'm going to go back to one. So I went to the park. One day I was on the bus. This is when I returned to Jamaica. I heard a voice on the bus said, come off the bus. So I turned around and I asked the guy that was sitting beside me, did you tell me to get off the bus? He said, no. I heard the voice again say, get. So I get off the bus. I went to Duane Park. I went to the park. I was the only one in the park because I was supposed to get my nails done. And I called the girl. She said she was on her way. I said, okay, I'll be in the park until you get here. And the guy, I saw a man, he looked like he was doing some kind of carpet. He almost looked kind of homeless, kind of working guy. And then he was like, why is she holding you like that? So I turned around and said, who you talking to, me? He said, yes. He said, you have a mom? Your mom passed away? And I said, yes. And he said, she's still holding you like you are a baby. He said, really? He said, you tried to go to the United States over and over and it doesn't work? I said, yes. He said, she kept holding you back. She doesn't understand that she's a spirit and she can be with you. That's why she's holding you like that. And he said to me, I want you to do something for me. I want you to go home and I need you to talk to her. I said, but she dead. How am I supposed to? He said, no, 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 no. She's listening. Trust me. I'm looking at her right now holding you. And I went home. But right then, when I came back, I started a process. So rewind a little bit. I started a process of going back to the States, but the legal way this time. I had gotten married and in a relationship and got married. My papers was processing. And he said to me, until you talk to your mom, you will never leave Jamaica because she loves you so much. She still think you are an infant because the way she's holding you as if you are still a baby, she doesn't understand. Let her know that she can follow you. She can come with you anywhere you go. And when I went home, I started talking to her. And my ex-husband at the time, he called my phone and he said, hon, I want you to go check your immigration status on the computer. And I said, what is it? And he said, just go check. And people, as there's a God, I even asked my godmother, it says, congratulations, you basically invited to come to the United States. So the more of the story is, my mom, she passed away, but she loves me so much to the point where she doesn't understand that I'm an adult. She still see me as her little girl. So that lady that the lady saw sitting on the bed in the detention in Mexico, that was my mother. And I'm just telling you, like your loved ones, I don't care what nobody want to say. Your loved ones, they are still with you in spirit. And when I talk to my mom and I ask her, mom, please, you have to let me go because there's so much I want to accomplish in life and I can't do it here. Please let me go. And I begged. And I even called my godmother and I said, Auntie, you're not going to believe what happened. And she said, what? And I said to her what I experienced. Every single day I go back to that park to see that man and I never ever see that man again. The lady at the border, the lady at the border that helped me, the pregnant lady I was telling you that looked like my mom, I've never seen that woman again. I even gave that woman my number. That number never called me. So the more of the story is, guys, you can stay focused, you can stay determined. And not only what I learned from that, this is the reason why I don't have friends. People is only with you only when you're beneficial to them, only when you can help them. I learned the hard way that people, they're not who they say they are. They will pretend to be your friend. And then when you don't have it, then they close all doors on you. So that's why I'm the way I am today. I don't have friends. Yes, I'm a very successful person, but I don't have friends. And that is, that's still haunting me today because I just can't believe how people, I'm not saying people are not obligated to help you. But come on, man. At least if somebody has been there for you, the least you can do is be there for them. But guess what? That's a lesson that I learned. And that is what I still take in with me today. So that is my story about how spirits are and your loved ones are with you.